everybody. I'm Luke Bronin, Mayor of the City of Hartford, and it is such an honor to join Governor Lamont in welcoming you this morning. I want to say a huge thank you to the University of Hartford for hosting us today. And I also want to acknowledge Mayor Cantor and Mayor Wong from West Hartford and Bloomfield, with whom we share this campus. And I want to say thank you to Senator Murphy for pulling us together today. Senator Murphy, you are the single strongest voice for common sense gun laws in the United States Congress, and you are one of the strongest voices for gun safety in this entire country, and we are so proud that you're our senator. Along with Senator Blumenthal and our incredible delegation, a year ago, you led the passage of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. And the passage of that act and the signing of that law by President Biden was a watershed event. It was a watershed event not because it solved all the problems. We know there's so much work left to do, but because it showed us, after decades of inaction, that progress is possible. It was possible because elected officials had the courage to take that vote, and that was possible because the people in this room built a movement. It happened because students walked out and marched for their lives and kept marching. It happened because moms organized around the country to demand action. It happened because, along with them, groups like Giffords and Brady and Everytown and Sandy Hook Promise came together and built a movement that is stronger than the NRA by far. And of course, it happened because we have a president who promised to break the logjam despite all of our political divides and has delivered on that promise again and again and again. I serve a city that has seen more than its share of gun violence. I've sat in living rooms with people that I know and love in the hours after they've lost a child or their grandchild. As a community, we've been to the funerals and the vigils of a 3-year-old boy who was shot in the back seat of his car, of a 12-year-old girl who was killed while out with friends, of a grandmother killed by a bullet through her window while she was making dinner in her apartment, and so many young men. We've seen our police take more illegal guns off the street than ever before, but still feel like they're swimming against the tide because those guns keep coming in, and more those guns include ghost guns and guns with high-capacity magazines and Glock switches. But we've also seen the power of this movement here in our community because we've seen people like Brother Carl and our Compass Peace Builders out there saving lives, de-escalating disputes. We've seen groups like Mothers United Against Violence and Hartford Communities That Care helping families to heal and grieve and work with law enforcement instead of seeking revenge. And because of the leadership of Governor Lamont and our legislature, we've seen Connecticut stay at the forefront of common sense gun laws in our country. Just this past week, Governor Lamont signed into law a comprehensive set of reforms that he fought for, that organizations like Connecticut Against Gun Violence organized and fought for. Grassroots organizations coming together to close loopholes on ghost guns, on extended magazines, and so many other things. It included provisions that a coalition of Connecticut mayors worked for, focused on accountability for serious repeat firearm offenders because so much of the violence in our community is the responsibility of a small number of people. And we know that if we don't have serious consequences for those who break the laws, it doesn't make a difference if those laws are there. I'm so grateful that Connecticut has stayed in the lead. And so no matter why you're here, if you are an advocate
or a policymaker, or a survivor, or a parent who has experienced the loss that no parent should ever have to feel, I hope you know that you have made the progress we're celebrating today possible, and that together we're going to keep that progress going. We are so deeply honored. We're so deeply honored to welcome the President of the United States here this afternoon. We're so honored that all of you are here today. And again, to Senator Murphy, I want to say thank you for showing us why and reminding us why we got to keep the faith no matter how long and narrow that path seems sometimes. And now, over to our great governor, Ned Lamont.